Hello, this is John Zanni. I'm the CEO of Acronis SCS. Today, we are going to talk about cyber threats in the financial sector and what you can do to protect yourself. First, though, a little bit about who we are. Acronis SCS is a company that specializes in certified cyber protection built for the public sector, which includes financial services. We're 100% focused on this market of sensitive customers. Everyone in my organization is a US citizen, and we emphasize certified products and processes so that when you use our service, you feel comfortable that it is the product and the processes around it have been audited and certified as safe and secure. And then I'm very proud that we're a veteran employer and a diverse employer. So let me touch on Acronis SCS Cyber Protect Cloud. This is our core offering. We do have a hardened edition on-premise product as well for air-gapped networks. But today, I'll just touch on this product, which is very easy to use, is certified, and it focuses on backup and recovery, security, and management, all done in a single, easy-to-use control panel. Now, let's get up into the threat landscape for the financial sector. Financial firms, hopefully you understand, for reasons that to me are quite apparent, is a major target of attack, right? On the left, you see that there have been 300 times more cyber attacks focused at financial firms than any other firm, including government. Because those who have mature automation, if you look on the right here, those people can detect, or companies can detect breaches much sooner and mitigate them. And then if you look at the first 6 months of 2021, the number of attacks or percentage of attacks grew over 22% within that same period in the private sector. The thing to also keep in mind is now, given our current political situation, that has increased even more. And those data breaches cost a lot of money, as you can see. And so it is important that you are prepared and you are what we call cyber fit. So how to think about it? Well, first, just in case you think that it's not you're too small, or you're in too remote location, here are some examples, whether it's the Morgan Stanley attack in July 2021, or Oscorp, also of that same month and year. The FIN8 was attacked with malware in August that breached the network of 2 unidentified US financial organizations. And then Robinhood, which has made the news quite a bit lately, also was hacked, and their customer information was released. So this is examples just to make sure you understand it's real and it's continuing. So how do you protect yourself? Well, it's people, processes, and providers. So I wish I could tell you there was a one-stop shop with technology. Buy our technology and you're good to go and you never have to worry again. But that's not the truth. The weakest link is still the individual. We were trained to keep the door open for people when they walk into a building. We don't like doing multi-factor authentication or entering a PIN code every time you want to log into an application. But those are things we need to do and be aware so that we don't let these bad guys and bad actors in. So I highlighted these 3 points here. First, implement a zero trust architecture. Now, this is easier said than done. In our organization, because we created a brand new organization 4 years ago, focused on the public sector, I was able to do that. And it has radically reduced any risk of breach. And if there was one, it mitigates the blast radius to something quite manageable. What blast radius means is that, for example, we have one dedicated network for guests who come in with devices that are not owned or managed by Acronis SCS. If somebody penetrates that network, they get access to the internet, and that's about it, right? You've got role-based access. I don't have access to the data center, to our source code, to any of the financial systems, which means that if somehow my access was compromised, once again, the ability to cause serious damage is minimized. Maybe someone could send email on my behalf asking for all my employees' W-2s, but then my employees have been trained that if something like that happens that seems strange, pick up the phone, give me a call. That is where I lead into personnel training, annual courses, test phishing emails, encourage breach reporting. We run phishing emails on a regular basis, and if someone clicks on a link, they win the prize of more training. I talk every time I have a town hall, which is monthly. I remind the staff that they should, if they see a breach, they report it. If they have a request that they seem is odd, call the person to make sure it's actually from that person, including me. That took a while. People are afraid to contact the CEO and say, did you really ask me for 20 Amazon gift cards? And I am happy to say that after repeating this and showing cases where it did happen and someone contacted me and we stopped that breach, people do that now. And then the last one is that I know some companies really like to do everything themselves, but I recommend, especially for smaller financial institutions, that you really think about using a managed service provider. First, their expertise is providing safe and secure cloud services around IT, whether it's cyber protection like what we do, or productivity or security. They are the experts. You get economies of scale gains, right? Their cost will be lower because they can run a data center, have a cage, manage hardware much more efficiently than a small organization can. And knowing that you have these experts on your side, keeping track of what's going on in the market, the new breaches, the new attacks, the more sophisticated attacks, that gives you the ability to really focus on your business. And with that, I would also just add and make sure you do vet out these service providers, that they are certified, that they do what they claim they do. Unfortunately, there are some small ones who will claim a secure service or best encryption, but ask them, are they using a FIPS 140-2 certified module? Can they prove that to us, to you? It's important to ask some questions, just like if you were looking for a used car, right? You would do a lot of research and not just buy it as is. Same thing here. It's important to do your research. I wanted to touch on some of the top 3 FINRA requirements for security. Unfortunately, there is no FINRA certified solution. The best you can do is get a company to attest that your solution is FINRA compliant. But here are 3 examples. Immutable files. What does this mean? It means that somebody can't intentionally or accidentally delete files or modify those files without us knowing about it or somebody knowing about it. And this means having a system that really doesn't allow you to delete something permanently immediately, that you can customize the retention rules, and that all the logging happens for every activity. And an important part here is it's not just tracking the logging, but make sure there are no generalized accounts. Oh, 6 people have access to the admin account and they do things through that. Each individual should have their own account so that if there is a breach or weird or unusual activity, we can trace it back to the exact person and see if it was them or if they had been compromised. Being able to have duplicate copies, more and more, you need to have, and it is part of the FINRA requirement, a copy off-site. Ideally in a FIPS 140-2 certified storage. We do that. We also pick Chandler, Arizona for its location that a database disaster would be minimized. And then you get audited, right? You get asked for information sometimes. Being able to search those backups and recover those files so you can do analysis on it in an easy way is super critical. This means you need to have redundant storage media, the ability to mitigate power outages, spin up a backup and get it running if something happens at your office. Make sure that the data is always available. So with that, I will close here on some of the certifications that if you see an MSP or a service provider like us have, you can feel comfortable that they are really doing what they can to certify their services. The three on the right are all based on FIPS 140-2 validated encryption. And that is validated by the US government. It takes about 18 months once you've built the module for them to go through the paces and make sure that you've used the proper encryption at rest and in transit. CJIS is for the Criminal Justice Information Services organizations, HIPAA is healthcare, and NIST 800-171 has to do with confidential, unclassified information. What's interesting, if you read these, which I have, they provide really good best practices on password management, on data management, on how to ensure that you minimize the chances of breaches, and if there is a breach, that you minimize the blast radius. So with that, I will close. Thank you very much. I'm John Zanni, jz@acronisSCS.com. If you have any questions, please reach out to me or anyone on my team, and we're happy to help you.